It's shaking. You know, one tap on the snooze button, it just feels small. You're just laying there, you roll over and you go, tup, tup. But then every time you do it, tup, tup, you're quitting on yourself. You're quitting on your family. You're quitting on your goals. You're quitting on your dreams. Tap, tap. Yeah. You want to be the tap, tap guy? You want to be the guy who's failing your family, failing your goals, failing your dreams? You want to be the guy? You want to be the average guy? Yeah, the average guy hits the snooze button. Tap, tap. Yeah. Well, today, you're going to learn to bet on yourself instead by not hitting the tap, tap snooze button. But first, nation, settle down, lock in, strap up, seatbelts on. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, the live morning show where we don't hit the snooze button. We give you real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversation colliding to help you start your day with momentum. Yes, baby. But before we get into it, I'm just got some energy here. I'm about to drop it on the table. This is an R-rated, maybe it's an X-rated experience. That means if your kids are around, put the headphones in, put those new AirPods in, they'll translate what Uncle Keith is saying here. Yeah. Or either hand down the headphones, put them on yourself, or politely escort the kids out of the room. We got some big talk here in the lab. Yeah, we can't ignore the last 24 hours that's happened in the world. We're going to put it on the table and talk about it. Listen, guys, you heard my kick to start it off. You're a snoozer? Stop it. You're failing yourself. You're being an average man. You're failing your family. You're failing yourself. You're failing your dreams. You're going, now one day I'll stop hitting the snooze button. No, stop hitting the fucking snooze button. Get up, get after it. And if you're tuning in for the first time, I invite you to hit the like button, subscribe, say hi on the comments. In today's loop, we're going to pull back this sweet lie, artificial sweeteners, what they're actually doing to us. We're going to get into Neuralink's brain chips. Yes, more people have brain chips in their head. Apple dropped AirPods Pro 3. Center stage, Kent Richardson joins us, the man who gets founders to pitch fake companies to real investors. And somehow everyone wins. Looking forward to that conversation. That's just going to be hour one. Hour two, deep dive, main event. Win your day before it snoozes. I know Sullivan does a snooze. I know Holroyd does a snooze. They get up and get after. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Bernard. Good morning, Enzo. I see your comments, Enzo. We're going to get to them in a number of minutes. I want to hear Charlie's opinion. What's happened to Charlie Kirk yesterday? The last 24 hours have been a pretty heavy day in the world. Of course, today's September 11th. It is not lost upon me. Morning focus, we're going to give you one habit that supercharges every workday. And finally, in the community corner, we're going to spotlight the creators making waves in the online world. Support the coffee, lace the sneakers, or adjust that tie, because whatever that routine looks like, stay with us for some real talk. Yeah, real talk. Real talk here today, because the morning loop, it's starting right now.
Keith thought we'd vanish like Frankie and Tommy. Not sure if we should laugh or be offended.
We are not Frankie and Tommy. We are business athletes. We show up no matter what.
Keith, John, crew, community, welcome back to the lab.
And we're ready. It's showtime.
Just got the morning note from Anderson. He's finishing up the morning dump. He's a couple minutes behind. Gives me and Marty a few minutes to chomp. What's going on, Mr. Martin? Christopher Martin, a.k.a.
What's up, man?
Marty Fit. Less brunches, more crunches. The guy getting after it. Happened. All the lovely ladies in Maryland achieve their biggest goals in life. How are you, pal?
I train men too.
I know you do. I know you do. I know. How are you, pal?
Everything's going well, man. Had a busy one today.
Yes.
Active, high energy, and now I'm here
Yes.
with the little nutty guy, man.
Yes, I love
How
it.
you doing
I love
today?
it. I love it. How's the last 24 hours?
It's been pretty good, man. How's your last 24 hours, man?
It's been good. We got a bunch of things to throw on the table today, but I think we would both be ignorant if we didn't talk about what has happened in the last 24 hours. You know, we are a live morning show, a motivational show, a show to help guys get up and get after it. But the reality is we're facing some pretty tragic news that happened in the world yesterday. Regardless of how you feel, and here's the thing. Regardless of how one feels about the politics of it all, there's no place in the world to assassinate somebody. There just isn't. I don't care if you're green, blue, red, purple, what sex you are, what religion you are. That was a tragedy yesterday, and my heart goes out to the family. And man, what a moment for America. Marty, how do you reconcile that yesterday, brother?
I'm not gonna lie, that kind of ruined my mood for the day.
Yeah,
for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
and it's not because I was necessarily the biggest Charlie Kirk fan. You know, I agree with some things. I disagree.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with some things. Disagree with some things.
Yes.
But what hurt me the most was people celebrating.
Yeah.
You know,
yes.
That's a father. That's a husband.
Yes.
And that's someone whose intent was positive. And sometimes when your intent is positive, you know, everyone's not going to agree with you, but that's not okay. And right now, America is in a bad space. We need to heal, and we need to call this shit out. And yeah, I'm part of that too. I'm calling it out.
I'm with you. You know, if anything, Marty, maybe yesterday is an MLK type day where Charlie Kirk becomes a martyr for that conversation. Mm-hmm. And to your point, I don't agree with all of his politics. I don't agree with many of the things that he has to say, but what I do lean back onto, at the end of the day, he was a father, he was a husband, mm-hmm. he was a human being that had the courage to get up on stage and to express his opinions and his views, regardless if you agreed with them or not. He got up there, and you and I do this every single day live, and there's a lot of people sit back there in the community don't say fucking boo because they don't have the courage to get up there and say boo. They sit there and they throw fucking shit at you, throw shit at me, and they just throw shit, but don't have the courage to get up on stage or say something. So regardless of how you feel about that young man, he got up on stage and he said things. And somebody was like, well, I don't want to have a conversation about it, so I'm just going to fucking kill him. That is what saddens me and horrifies me. And to your point, Marty, I saw shit yesterday. I saw photos of stuff going, what a great shot. Or, man, he could have a few more inches would have hit him in the head. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me, man? And this is not a conversation about gun violence. No, the gun was the tool. Well, I don't give a fuck about the gun. This has nothing to do with gun violence. This is tragedy, man. Tragedy. Enzo, I see you there, man. I appreciate your comments. And you know what? Here's the thing too, Marty. My young son, my 18-year-old son, that just tells you the influence that Kirk was having on society. We didn't get into politics. Carter just said, holy shit, see what happened to Charlie Kirk yesterday.
That's it. That's all that matters.
That's it.
Politics. You know, it's people bringing up quotes from him that they disagree with.
Yeah. And
this is the reality, Keith. Me, you, John, we've all said shit that people will look at like we're the scum of the earth.
Yes.
They'll look at us like we're the scum of the earth for some of the opinions we have. And this is everyone.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That should not be the focus when our time comes. That should not be the focus, you know, especially if we're putting out positive things, which all three of us are doing.
Yes.
Our intent is to be as positive as possible and touch as many people and help as many people as possible.
Yes.
But it's sad, man. And it's you know, in my opinion, it's demonic. And, you know, I'm waking up and seeing a lot of people I know personally that I need to stay away from.
Good for you. Good for you for making that decision and for making those choices. I'm not going to lie to you. The next 24, 48, 72 hours kind of concerns me. It makes me wonder what the temperature is going to be like. This is not a Black Lives Matter ML. This is a very different situation that happened yesterday.
Yeah, this is a human thing, man. And what's even crazier is nobody's talking about this happening at a college campus. You know, parents send their kids off to school, and you know that could have been one of the students. That could have been one of the faculty members at work. We had a guest on the show a few weeks back. His name's Chad Rawlings. What's up, Chad? His son, third row. Whoa. Yeah. Looks like we got Johnny right there, Jimmy. If you want to bring Johnny up, that'd be great. Yeah, third row. Wow. So so something else too that was struck me yesterday. And again, so I come back from the world of ICUC moderating content. Yesterday was also another day of how the world had to manage an assassination in real time in a world of social media.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah. So Johnny, I know this is not typically our conversation, but I think you would agree with me. We would be ignorant as human beings if we didn't lean into it. And I know you're not about negativity, and neither am I. And that's not what this is about.
Sometimes we're forced to talk about shit that we would like not to, but this is kind of what we have to do.
Thank you. So, Johnny, my brother,
we're not gossip. This is not gossip.
So Johnny, we're same age, brother. I'd like you to take me through the last 24 hours of your life and just where were you when you heard about it? What was your reaction? We're like, I know, and I'm being lovingly, jokingly. I know you don't spend a lot of time in the news. You're focused on the great things in life, but yesterday would have been hard to ignore. Where did you hear about it, and what was your reaction?
So where was I? We were
driving home.
Driving.
Yeah.
Driving. I don't remember exactly where we were. We're on a long straight highway because, of course, I'm just crushing, staying productive. Terry's driving.
Yeah.
And I was going to get something. I went from my computer to my phone.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to Instagram to look at something.
And something popped up.
So my feed is basically just either, people that motivate me and a few buddies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically one of my buddies popped up. And he said, "This is ridiculous." I could hear the tone of his voice.
Yeah.
I was like, "Whoa, what's this?" So I paid closer attention.
Yeah.
And then he did the little head talking at the bottom of the screen showing
the
actual event. And that first clip, if you look closely, it was way back. It was the one from like a rooftop.
Yes.
You could see that he actually got hit and did this.
Yes.
That was the end of the clip.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. And I thought to myself, I hope he didn't die, because I didn't really pay that close attention. Obviously got shot. And then, so about 15 minutes later, he put another one out with a closer picture.
Yeah.
It actually showed the fucking blood coming out of him.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I didn't even really know that he was assassinated. I just knew that he was shot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But dude, I got to tell you, man, that I don't know that human beings are supposed to see that. I got a little queasy for a second, and keep in mind, it's part of life. Yes. But my first thought was, how many kids saw this? And this was like a dagger or a piece of poison put into their mind that should never have happened. It's one. I remember when we were kids and you hear someone got assassinated, someone got shot. All you could do was imagine it. And like for me, I just kind of imagined someone got shot. I didn't picture blood fucking squirting out of the fucking side of them, So my first thought was, obviously terrible. And then immediately I was like, man, think of all the people that this affected in terms of like seeing something like this. Or going back to when I was a kid, there was a movie we watched on Vietnam, and they said you don't have to watch this because it's graphic. And there was a part where a dude literally went up, put a gun to a dude's head.
I remember.
I just fucking went. It's like somebody unplugged him. I'd never seen that before. I couldn't get it out of my head.
Yes.
And now, millions and millions and millions of people didn't know that was coming and saw that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like as Marty said.
I'm just talking about one level. Then we
I know, John. Yeah. There's what,
then we talk about holy Christ. It's like, who gives a shit what he's talking about?
That's what we were saying while you were making your way into the lab.
God damn it.
Nothing to do with whether the guy wore blue shorts or red shorts. It doesn't matter what, like I don't think you heard what I said, John, but regardless of where his opinion stood, he had the courage to get up and express it. And there's a lot of people that just sit back in the fucking corner and don't have the courage to express it. So the young man had courage to express what he had to say. You don't have to agree with everything he had to say, but you can certainly agree that he had the balls and the courage to get up there and express his point of view and start a conversation. And just because somebody didn't agree with that person's way of ending that conversation was assassinating him.
Well, now this goes back to, are human beings really being pitted against each other? God damn it. You got to really fucking wonder after this, boy, because this shit is getting way too fucking out of control.
Yeah, this is a hard one. Good Time coming in says, I'll never forget where I was.
It's like a silent civil war.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say silent, invisible.
And what makes it crazy is we're all in the same country, black, white, Republican, Democrat. If another country decides to, send a missile over here, they're bombing all of us. It doesn't matter. It's just crazy that we're at war with ourselves like this.
It's unfortunate that 911, which is today, brought, I'm going to say I'm a Canadian, but I'm just going to say brought our nation together. It actually removed the colors of everybody and brought people together. Mm-hmm. And it's really unfortunate that yesterday's moment, Marty, did the complete opposite.
Yep.
It didn't bring anybody together. It didn't bring anybody together at all. It just created more divisiveness.
Yep.
Right. Good time comes in and said, never forget it was 911. And now this as well. Enzo's coming in. And Enzo, I appreciate you, man. You were waiting to get into the lab this morning. I can tell you were. And I could tell that Enzo had things to say. And I just want to say, Enzo, I got a lot of love for you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate your words. Marty, he was first one in. And he just, and I invite you guys to check out, Enzo's comments on the horizontal. Enzo, I'm going to leave them up there and folks can check them out. But
Enzo sent me some.
Enzo,
yeah, I'll read them out here. So Enzo says, man, where do I start? I sent Marty a message earlier. From an international perspective, to see so much international violence happen in such a short amount of time is disheartening. And here's the thing. Kirk is one step away from the man with orange hair. So put that on the table, right? There's a reason why my smoke alarm does not have a snooze button. That's it, Sullivan. And then Enzo comes back and says, for someone like Charlie Kirk to be assassinated for having an opinion is like someone assassinating me purely because I like pineapple on pizza and they don't. Yeah, and he's right. The guy had an opinion. And what got me is as Kirk was articulating himself, it's like the guy was waiting for a certain word just to pull the trigger. Mm-hmm. And then Enzo said, I wake up this morning.
Who is the fucking weirdo that did it? I just
they haven't caught him. So they had arrested a guy.
Caught him.
No, so they had arrested.
No, they didn't catch him.
I saw a picture of a dude bent over on his hands and knees. I thought they got him.
Yeah, that was the guy. No, it wasn't him, Marty. Johnny. They actually released him, and there's another guy. There's a shooter on the top of the roof in black fatigues. Marty, I'm going to put on the table.
How the fuck did he get away with all those cameras?
Yeah.
Well, I think the guy who they arrested was a distraction.
Yes.
So the guy can get away.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and apparently,
then they just got to follow that because they're connected somehow. If that
or not, or maybe or not. We're purely spec. There's also some speculation that the rifle was set up in advance on that rooftop, and so that the shooter could just walk up, get down on his hands and knees. And
remember there was another shooting. Forgive me, I don't remember. I don't remember who it was, but the fucking guy was just laying up on top of this fucking roof.
That was Trump. That was Pennsylvania during the election. He got him in the ear.
It was like this fucking guy could have up there fucking with a campfire, fucking roasting hot dogs. Yeah, pulled the trigger.
It's incredible. You're absolutely right. Well, and what strikes me with this one too is that, and I'm certainly not offering any humorous comment on this, just purely a factual comment. I'm not a shooter. I don't spend many time with guns, but I've been around enough people that I have. That's a hard shot. That's a decisive shot.
Yeah, somebody was trained.
Like somebody knew what they were doing from that distance to get the guy in the neck or in the head, or he was clearly shooting for head or neck, but to get him where he got him and a clean that's as Good Time says. I think it may have been a professional job. It's hard to argue with what happened. It's just like I said, it's really unfortunate, it's sad, and it just makes me wonder
nuts, dude.
It is. Yeah, it absolutely is. It's and I don't know where things go from here. I really don't.
Yeah, well, I just pray that the orange man doesn't respond in a crazy way because Charlie Kirk was one of his friends.
Yes.
And it's just no telling what's going to happen next. What happens next could start another war and start some more madness, unfortunately. So
yes,
praying on that.
Yes, absolutely. So good morning, everybody. Hanging out with Keith, John, and Marty. Mornings in the lab. Just touching on the big. Listen, guys, this is an unpredictable 30 minutes of them. We call the morning loop on purpose. We're here every single day, every 24 hours. We get back after it. We put topics on the table to talk about. The news is out there. We're here to talk about the news that's happening in the world, the current events happening in the world. So,
real quick, Mark, you were not coming today, but I thought you were coming Friday. Did you come because of this?
Nah, I moved some things around.
Okay.
I was going to say later.
I was going to say, good, more power to you for maneuvering, brother.
Yeah, well, I knew Keith was going to bring this up. I kind of just wanted to be here for that because.
Well, that's cool, brother. I was giving you kudos, man. Great. I was wondering if you were going to pop in here when I was getting myself logged in. I heard your voice. I was like, this fuck good shit.
Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So listen, I know we have a guest coming up here on the show here in a number of minutes. We have a guy who's what's his name here? Kent Richardson, the man who makes founders pitch fake businesses to real investors, and they love it. He's the founder and CEO of Shit Pitch, joining us from Spanish Fork, Utah. Be interesting to hear him joining us from Utah this morning. But Jimmy, I think we got some. Let's run that opener for the morning transition, the news transition. Let's see what Preston and Sterling have for us on the table this morning. We'll get to some topics as we're waiting for Kent. Preston, Sterling, what's up this morning?
How about those new AirPods doing live translation?
Love that we're talking about it. And we'll talk about the dying internet.
Good thing we do a live show. Dead internet can't stop us. 12 people with brain implants already.
That story will spark conversation.
They have been spotted. True motherfucking story.
Guys, new iPhones released yesterday, but also some new AirPods released. And the thing that really got me the most, which I thought was really cool, and that translates. So, Johnny, you got AirPods in. You're talking to Jimmy in Philippines. You're having a conversation in English. Jimmy's talking in Philippines. And you guys are having literally a two-way conversation. And in your ears, it's translating in real time. I don't care what anybody says. That's pretty fucking cool.
And that's all from the phone or the earpod?
The AirPods.
Sheesh.
Oh, Christ.
That's pretty fucking cool. So, Marty,
so you don't need the new phone to have this feature.
No, just the AirPods. Yeah, new AirPods. AirPods 3
dude, that's fucking nuts, dude.
AirPods 3 coming out, and apparently maybe even I think I read something that AirPods 2 might be able to do it. But yeah, AirPods 3. So Marty, remember you went to Thailand last year or 2 years ago? You're in Thailand. You got AirPods in. Somebody in Thailand has AirPods in. You're literally having a conversation with them like you and I are having right now, and in real time, the words are being translated. That's a game changer, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a game changer, and they're doing that on Instagram too, where they're automatically translating the post.
Yes,
and it's great. It gives you just more chance to connect with more people around the world, which could lead to more business too, more following, more views.
I thought it was pretty neat, actually. I thought it was really neat,
man.
And in many ways, good for us if we, for our live show here, we got somebody who comes onto the show here that has a different language. It's easy for us to bring him in here and have some great conversation. Hey, do you remember a few months back I talked to you guys about Neuralink, that company that Elon is a part of, that he transplants chips into. So they now have 12 patients around the world with over 15,000 hours of uses logged, meaning that there's 15 humans. So there's 2 done here in Toronto here last month, two Canadians with spinal cord injuries. And now these people, get this, they can browse the web, study, play games, hands-free, restoring independence and paralysis. So to kind of simplify it, Marty, yesterday you were paralyzed. Today you came in to get a Neuralink transplant, and now you are able to do all these things that you couldn't do the day before. That is crazy, man. That's coming out here. That's around the corner.
Beyond crazy.
That is, yeah. That just shows you the future is arriving really, really fast.
Keith, I know you're loving this stuff too, man.
Oh, I love it. I sometimes think that I was born too fucking old in life. Holroyd says I've had my eye on the holiday glasses. They will translate for you as well. Yeah, they will show it on the visual overview, though not audio. Yeah, I know. I'm liking some of that stuff. Holroyd, that is, and Petrocelli, I know. Petra, I loved your comment yesterday, brother. I'd love to have those guests on the show. Hey, we've also talked about gout in the past. Johnny, have you had gout before? I can't remember what your answer was.
No, no. I mean, I know a lot of people who had it, but I've never had it myself. There's been different times where I thought I've had it, but it was just more to do with me being rough on my feet.
Yeah. How about you, John? Marty?
No, I've never had that.
You know of it, though.
Yeah, I was going to ask Johnny if there's a peptide for gout.
Yeah.
There's a peptide for just about everything.
I thought Johnny was going to go into his explanation. Yeah, pesticide.
Bernard, I see your comment down there. Gout isn't your fault. It's mostly in your genes. There was a massive study.
Really?
Yeah, a study just recently done, guys. Data from so this is not a small study. 2.6 million people showed gout risk comes primarily from genetics, not diet. Hundreds of gene regions tied to uric acid and immune response were identified. So the myth, red meat, seafood, and alcohol can trigger attacks, but they don't cause gout. It's the genes that set the baseline risk. And why this matters is that the old blame game adds stigma and keeps patients from seeking help. But the reality is that gout isn't about indulgence. It's actually about inheritance.
There's an argument to that, though.
Tell me, yeah.
Because when people start to fucking point that DNA, you start marching back in the generations.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And all these motherfuckers are making the same mistakes. So of course they're going to have the same fucking problems.
Well, so it's interesting to hear you say, because I've wondered that as well. So what my point is that okay, so genetically, let's just use me for example. So what this is saying that, because my dad has had gout, so what it's suggesting that I will have gout inevitably. However, I'm thinking that if I made different lifestyle choices from
you don't live like your dad. You're
exactly.
going to see if you fall. Most people.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking too, John.
It's DNA. What they're not recognizing. Yes, DNA goes down the line. Lifestyle habits go down the line also. So if the lifestyle habits are separate from the DNA, massive chance that those problems don't exist for the. I mean, me being a perfect example, I don't have the fucking problems that are in my family.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yes.
Literally, point blank. End of story.
Yeah. So I was curious. That's what I said. I threw the topic on the table because what drew my attention to it was the same thing you just said, was that if I made different changes to my lifestyle, could I not change the course of the action of the future? So while I'm, and this is what's great, because Petrocelli says often, science is competitive. So this scientist said this. Well, now you're going to have another scientist that go and finds 2.6 million people that says, okay, well, you change your lifestyle habits. Here was the differences in the results, right? So,
well, and one of the things that I like about this, and granted, when I say this is off of what I see, it's it's not medically backed.
Yeah,
but it gives people hope.
100%. Yes,
and that that whole idea that you believe that you can change something means that you might actually fucking do it.
Yes. Melissa comes in and says, epigenetics, we can switch genes on and off through lifestyle choices. There you go. Right.
That's it. John, that's exactly it.
John, you'd be a great example of that, because I know you have been very determined to change your course by making intentional actions throughout the day. And here's a perfect example.
Yeah. On both sides of my family, literally both sides, every single fucking male has had strokes.
Oh man, I thought you were going to say something else.
No, every fucking one of them. There's not a single male and multiple sometimes.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
They started. I mean, I'm already into the territory.
Oh yeah.
But I don't live like them.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, granted, by no means are the people that I'm talking about obese or even overweight for that matter.
They
just live too much inside of what we were told is healthy.
So we've been told that artificial sweeteners might not be healthy for us. Well, there's a sweet lie happening, and John, I know you like to have artificial sweeteners. So do I. I'm not gonna deny that. There's a sweet lie happening that are artificial sweeteners quietly aging the brain. Have you ever cracked open a diet soda or stirred in a healthy substitute thinking you were making the healthier choice? Well, there's a landmark study that suggests artificial sweeteners, I think, Jimmy, we have a clip for this, maybe quietly accelerating brain aging by as much as 1.6 years.
This is a cock decision.
I'm sorry?
You know what that means? Look at Marty. What? Sorry.
Dude, I haven't been there for that.
This is a cock decision. This is a cock decision. You've got one cock that represents sugar. And you've got another cock that represents artificial sweeteners. Now, granted, you got to go with the best of the artificial sweeteners. Why is it called cock? Because you're going to have to suck one of them.
Sweeteners promise freedom from sugar, but the science says otherwise.
That's the loop, right? The sweet lie. Truth is, nothing's free.
What if the choice you make every morning to be healthier is actually making you older? For 30 years, an entire generation has been reaching for what they believe was the smarter option. You've done everything right. Tracking over 12,000 adults for nearly a decade has uncovered something that challenges everything we thought we knew about making healthy decisions. It's about understanding which everyday choices compound over time and which ones you can change starting today. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make right now.
Marty?
I think we've got a new way to identify these tough decisions. It's a cock.
I'm thinking it's like an abbreviation for something. Johnny's gonna be like, yeah, well, this is the C for. Then we got the O, we got the C, we got the K. I'm just ready for Johnny to break the shit down. I was not expecting that.
Your face, Marty, because you were expecting a complete different answer. And then he's like, no, cock. And you're like, what?
He said, what is that? What did he say? What does that mean? And I said, you got to suck one of them. He just turns away.
You know, when Johnny speaks, I'm ready to learn, man. So I was ready to learn.
Well, you got to learn right there, brother. Which cock do you want to suck?
So
because you can't help it. You're going to have to suck one of those cocks, whether you like it or not.
Oh my God, I'm just sweating over here.
You can't avoid it. That's the world we live in.
The Brazilian longitudinal study tracked almost 13,000 adults over 8 years, testing memory and verbal fluency. High consumers of artificial sweeteners saw a 62% faster cognitive decline, equal to 1.6 years of brain aging. Now, so this thing just sounds like just bullshit to me, actually. When I see this, Charlie, this sounds like bullshit to me. But but again, I'm all about starting conversations. What I like to do. It just seems so fooey. When you hear this, John, what the hell do you think? Same thing as me? Like, it just seems like bullshit?
There's just these certain, there's a number of these things in our world.
Yeah.
You can't avoid one of them. And so it's kind of like you have to fucking pick a side, understand what you've picked, and own it and move forward.
That's really the best point, isn't it? You're right. Because at the end of the day, it's like
you can't avoid it.
No.
So my answer, I want the cleanest cock possible.
Unless you're that goalie.
Don't give me a dirty cock.
Unless you're that goalie I was telling you about last couple of weeks ago, Johnny, when you're like, yeah, we're going to invite a goalie on the show, big professional hockey goalie, and we're going to talk to him about the fact that he only drinks water. Right. So there's a dude that doesn't select any cock, he just drinks water.
Well, but that's just in a drink. You can't avoid it elsewhere.
Yes.
I mean, unless you were going to live in the fucking wilderness and only eat what you caught and killed. That's about the only way you could do it.
Yes.
Because I call it unintentionally digested sugar. You could I try to avoid sugar. But if you were to somehow count what I take in at the end of the day, it's there. You can't avoid it.
I've heard you use that term before. I like that. Unintentional. You've used unintentional carbohydrates, unintentional sugars. You've used terms like you can just walk through a grocery store and you can inherit carbohydrates because they're just in everything. I'm saying that facetiously and jokingly, but you do comment on that because they are everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if you think you're going to breathe clean air, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah. Mike Sullivan's got a question on the table here. What's up, Sar? 1, 2, 3, you wonk. What's the laugh about? We're laughing about the sweetness and some conversation Johnny and Marty were throwing on the table here. Hey, they say that Manuka honey is a great all-natural sweetener. Perhaps all honey, no possibility of adverse effects. Johnny, Manuka honey.
I mean, there's so many different variations of natural sugars. Yeah. But if you look at the reaction of the body, it's still, here's the thing. Our bodies were not made to have sugar put in it as often as it is. That's why people become diabetic. So type 2ers, right? Type 1, you're born with a broken switch. Type 2 means, so just think of your insulin like a light switch. Let's just say it's designed to have 100,000 switches before it breaks. Well, that 100,000 switches used to last us a lifetime. Some of these new fucking people coming into the world, that 100,000 switches is done in their fucking teens. That fucking switch breaks, and now they're fucking type 2 diabetic. So does it really matter what kind of sugar is flipping the switch?
Yeah.
That's what you got to look at. Unfortunately, natural sugar or synthetic sugar are both going to flip the switch.
Pick your poison, that old cliche, John. Pick the poison.
Is there a more natural version of flipping the switch? Yes, but the switch still has another. It went from 99 to 100, no matter what kind of fucking sugar you chose to eat.
Oh yeah. Hey, so moving from sugar to The Rock. Guys, I made an error last week when we were talking about The Rock's body change. I thought so he did change his body for Mark Kerr in the wrestling. I'm sorry, for the Smashing Machine movie that he's being talked about for an Oscar. But right now, his big massive decline, John, is for a film that he is in that he's filming right now. That he is, revealed he's slimming down for Lizard Music, a Benny Safdie film where he plays the eccentric chicken man, a whimsical.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, it does, John, doesn't it? Yeah.
Because I was thinking to myself, a guy like that to go through that type of a fucking transformation, to do a few scenes about when Kerr was fucking young. I was like, God damn, that seems like a lot.
Yeah. So we're so hold on one last thing, Marty. So what's been revealed here in the last couple of weeks is he bulked up 30 pounds to play Mark Kerr in the Smashing Machine. Now he's intentionally shedding a bunch of weight for his next transformation, which is what we saw last week on the red carpet when he was in Venice. So what we're currently seeing right now is his body filming the movie that'll be released in about a year from now.
And that makes perfect sense, because like when Tom Hanks did Castaway, right? He had to go through that huge thing, but that was like, it wasn't a few scenes.
That's the whole movie.
It was a huge chunk of the movie. That makes sense. I'm thinking that's, I was like, God damn, that's a massive change. Because when Kerr was fighting, which is where most of the movie is, I believe.
Yes.
I mean, the Rock's, though their physiques were very, very similar. If anything, Rock might even get a little bit bigger because
interesting.
I mean, fucking Kerr was 280 pounds at his peak.
Yeah.
He was a fucking savage, dude. Did you see the clip where he was like, had a fucking grocery bag filled with needles and fucking Nubain containers as he got all that shit out of his house?
No.
Oh, dude, unbelievable.
Really?
I believe the way it worked was during the filming, the head director was one of his teammates from college, and Kerr was like, look, I need help getting clean. I need you to stay here. And so the director had to kind of say, is this, I'm going to film this, or I'm just going to be here for my buddy. And I think clearly they did a little both, but the first step was him getting all the shit out of his house. And I think it was like, it looked like he was pulling out from under a bed or something, but he was just like a grocery bag, like almost filled to the top, as he's just fucking putting handfuls of fucking empty vials and fucking needles into this thing to get his house clean. It's unbelievable.
That's incredible. I'm looking forward to seeing that movie. I think it's gonna be pretty good. And this one,
well, and the crazy part is he was using that while he was fucking fighting at the highest level. I don't think people understand. Crazy. He wasn't doing that sitting on a fucking couch just being a druggie. He was using that to perform.
That's crazy, man.
Well, I think that's what people tend to not understand. A painkiller is really a performance agent for a high level athlete. I mean, that's why I was so hooked, because it's like, I know that I can go do things that I can't when I don't feel this pain.
Never thought about that the way you just put that. Because if I'm wrestling Marty and Keith are doing a cage match, and I got to jump off a 20-foot cage into a ring, if my body's not feeling any pain, it certainly is making it easier for me to make the jump. And B, it's making it really easy to accept the jump when I hit the bottom.
Yeah, well, and wrestling is even the smaller side of that, because when you're in strength, I mean, you're doing shit that can, like, I mean, granted, wrestling is a different type of pain. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When you're talking about 90 seconds of output to where all you can think, like, for example, you're pulling a fucking bus, and what you're looking at is the fucking guy at the end with the oxygen fucking tank. You're going to hit the ground. You're going to fucking roll over. He's going to put that thing on your face so you can start to fucking, because you are pushing it to the point where, it gets dark, man. At the end, it's fucking getting dark and quiet.
Jesus, Murphy.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you got to deal with that, right? But then let's just say that you got a fucking pulled groin in the middle of that whole thing. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
So it's like, you think of people tend to think that athletes, again, that's the simplest way to sum it up. People tend to think that athletes are using painkillers to get high. It's a performance agent. Now, granted,
that's a really good way to flip that, actually, isn't it? That's
well,
incredible.
but the hard part about it is that it starts off as that performance agent, and then it turns out to be that thing where, okay, now like, for example, like coming home from long fucking trips, we would get on the fucking airplane and we were dosed up on pills. We were getting fucking loaded to deal with that. We're in pain and we're tired. We got to deal with a 12-hour flight, you know? So we're sedating ourselves.
Well, yeah, you're popping up, passing out, and just to get you home.
Yeah. So it starts off as a performance agent because you're hurt, and then it turns into something that you just fucking need to feel normal. But generally speaking, athletes are not taking it to get high. They're taking it to perform.
I never thought about it the way you put that. I can even see myself in that position, because if I'm a football player and I'm a quarterback and I have a great performance, so I got knocked out of the game last week, I'm on some painkillers and it's helping me progress to next weekend and I'm performing. I can see how easy it is to go, well, fuck, it worked last Sunday, I'm doing it again next Sunday. And before you know it.
Well, dude, and if you could keep it to once a week, you'd be fucking fine.
Which I know is probably,
here's the hard part. Let's just say that for whatever reason you get some painkillers for something that, you know, maybe you had to get a fucking toe surgery and you get some painkillers. Toes healed, you got a few painkillers left. Like, well, fuck, I'm gonna take one of these things and go for my run. Dude, you're gonna have the most fucking amazing run. You're gonna want to do that again tomorrow because you're gonna chase that fucking feeling of being better by a massive amount.
Yes.
And that's where it gets you, because an athlete's always wanting to, fuck, if I can get better every day, I just got to take that pill.
Well, it's that edge, right? It's that edge you think you have, you know, whether it's real or not. It's that edge, that powerful edge, right?
And then you start learning how to cocktail the shit. You know, you take a perfect example. You can take Benadryl, will massively increase the benefit of an opiate. So you can basically take your opiate, take a little Benadryl, and there's some sort of a compounding effect in there.
You know, when I hear you speak, just putting real truth on the table here, when I hear you speak about this journey in your life, dude, I'll just be full transparent with you. I can't imagine how dark some of those days were. And adding to that, no, I'm being serious, because it just adds to why I really appreciate when you pull your pants down and be so honest about this. I can't imagine, I really can't, how dark it was when you were coming out of it. And I'm serious, man. Like, coming out of it, when you made those decisions, plural, because I know it wasn't one, which was, okay, I'm done with this. And then you fucking fall back into it a few times. But dude, I can't, like, when I hear you speak, and I hear you speak from that place of knowledge, and as I've gotten to know you as a human being, man, I really can't. I just sometimes wish I could have wrapped my arms around you with a big hug as you're going through that time in your life, because I can't imagine how tough that was. Seriously.
Well, yeah, the problem was during those times, I didn't have the emotional capacity to even deal with that hug.
I bet. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
It turns your fucking emotions off.
That's what I mean, is that as I know you now, like, I can't imagine, like, I would love, Marty, sit down with Terry and talk to Terry about that John, and then going through the John that we have today, like, just your journey as a human being, that courage to go through it, the courage to stop.
Oh, dude. I mean, there was times where, so she was, just gone through a surgery, and I was doing better. So we knew that I didn't really need that many pills. In the beginning, you know, she's kind of letting me have what I need.
Yeah.
And I was better.
I was doing, quote unquote, better. Like, that's such a fucking ridiculous statement. Better compared to what? You know what I mean?
Like, I'm just talking about managing the pain.
That's what I mean. Right after 6 pills instead of 10.
When they drill holes in your fucking bones, the pain that you have is it burns. Burns. That's all I can say, dude. Burns. So anyway, the pain is more managed. So I'm not having to, like, just call on her all the time, right? So I know the clock. I know that the X amount of hours has passed, right? Based on my pain levels. Anyway, we're past that. So I've got my allotment for the day, might have been 4 or 5 pills, which was, sounds like a lot, but in those times it wasn't. She had to leave town. So what she does, and keep in mind, I was already fucking hooked before the surgery. So it wasn't like this was just a week after surgery I was doing this dumb shit. I was deep in it. She leaves town. She's smart, so she can't give me a fucking bottle of pills. I'll eat the whole fucking thing for the first days, right? So she goes and she stashes them around the house, and then she would text me when it was like, I think it was every 4 hours, right, where they would be.
Seriously?
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm fucking tearing the house apart looking for these fucking pills. It looked like a tornado. I mean, the fucking couches, all the fucking cushions are on the fucking floor, and I'm tearing it apart, and I'm not putting it back together till I find a pill. And she hit them so fucking well. I never found one of them, and I was like, anyway, but that just tells you the mindset.
That's what I mean. Like your brain,
terrible
your
fucking
brain's
position that you're in,
when you go through that, and as somebody who's now been through it and on the outside, I really get a sense of your passionate dislike, intentional words I've used there, towards big pharma and how bad they can fuck humans up.
Well, but you know what, brother? I dislike big pharma because their intentions are wrong, but I hold the fucking responsibility on my own fucking plate. I was the one who couldn't fucking handle it.
Yes.
Right. Yes. They're the ones that are making this way too accessible. Yes. But there's all sorts of fucking shit like that in our world. And if someone wants to fucking blame,
yes.
But I definitely, what I don't like about big pharmas, they're intentionally not helping. That's what I dislike.
Yes.
Forget me personally.
Yes.
I'll be fine.
That's fair. That's fair.
But it's I think what I dislike, and one of the reasons I'm so happy to pull my pants down is so that people that are going through this can realize they're not alone. Because that's part of the battle is you're just fucking like Jesus Christ, you're on an island.
Literally. Well, that's what I mean. Because when I hear you speak about it, and when we lean into these topics, and I see you lean forward, like it's not just okay, I'm done now. Like there's a journey to be done. There's a journey to be DONE, and sometimes that D, it takes a long time to get to the O, and then to the N, and then the E. Sort of to hear you get through that, man. That's
yeah. And looking back, I mean, there's some embarrassing shit that went on there too.
Sure.
Like how many times Tara and I are in fucking Starbucks, drop the kids off from fucking school. I've dosed myself improperly. We're in fucking Starbucks, and I just start fucking. She's like, "Okay, we got to go."
Jesus Christ.
Just getting me out of public. I look like one of these fucking guys who, one of these fucking, rock stars who wandered out of his fucking house in his boxer shorts, and the fucking media's caught him, and he's all fucking jacked up. We got to get this dude out of public.
Speaking of that, here's a good segue. Go ahead, Marty.
Nah, I was just reacting. I didn't have anything else to say.
Speaking of rock stars, he's not a rock star, but he's back in the news this week. And I just came across my brain as you made this comment, Johnny. Charlie Sheen back in the media this week because he had a Netflix. He had a doc, right? Because you mentioned embarrassed. Well, he's coming clean on his activities over the last 10 years on how he went sideways and how life got away.
Hasn't he been doing that for a while? I mean, he does it about every decade, doesn't he?
Yeah. So he is
but good for him because that's the shit that people. I mean. The thing about it is we watch these fucking people and
yes,
it's like, I kind of went through it too. I remember when I got to the fucking high level, and I start becoming friends with some of these people that I've been watching on TV.
Yes.
And they're doing this stuff.
Yes.
It makes it okay.
Well, that's just it. So, but Sheen's come out, John, and he's on his amends tour. He's commenting on his behaviors, the tiger blood stuff, and all the ridiculous behavior. Marty, do you remember when Charlie Sheen was going through that bullshit, or did not come across your radar?
I might have been too young.
Yeah.
Well, he's been going through bullshit for decades, though.
Yeah,
are you talking about a singular?
Well, I'm thinking about
period of time.
His last one, John, about 8 years ago, 10 years ago, when he was kind of on that tiger blood journey there, and he was
Hold on, what's the tiger blood journey? Maybe I wasn't up to speed.
Yeah, so he was drinking tiger blood, and he was talking about tiger blood he was a winner, but he was just a winner, and he was talking about exactly, Marty.
Was he fucked up, or was he just
completely? Yeah, he was just all messed up, and he was chasing everything. That's when he admitted he had HIV and all the crazy behaviors.
I didn't even know that he's got HIV.
Yeah, and he's publicly talked about it. And he's talked about his sexual relations with men and how he his fucking was how it was a big turning point in his life when he had a sexual experience with men. So,
dude, I never fucking knew any of this.
I was a huge fan of Charlie Sheen growing up, watching him in Platoon. I know you would have been as well.
Dude. Oh fuck, dude! Right? I mean, my first thing is, what the fuck is poor Martin thinking? Jesus Christ! I mean, I like Charlie. Listen, it's one thing you're doing a lot of fucking blow and fucking hookers and shit, but Jesus Christ, are you gay? Are you straight? I don't care. Just tell me, son.
He's got his brother Emilio Estevez.
Poor fucking Martin's got to be so goddamn confused.
Yes. Well, it's funny. So it's funny. There's certain topics that bring people in, right? And this one's one of them. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, baby. B Drive. Adam Holward winning. Yeah, it was #winning. And
that's the only thing I know about him. #winning.
That's it. That's exactly what it was, Marty. It was
well, dude,
winning.
think like this, dude. Yeah. He was like this He was this guy that hit Hollywood when he was young because of his dad.
Yes.
And he just went full bore.
He's handsome. Yeah.
Full bore.
Yes.
Kind of like Will Smith kids.
So no, Marty, even like to
probably times 10.
Yeah. Yes.
Got you. Yeah. Now it makes sense. Got you.
Yes.
Okay.
And he was,
and this was back. This was back before people. He was kind of like forging the path for this to be accepted.
Yes. Yeah. Like he would have been like the rock star actor, Marty. So, rock stars were rock stars. Like he was like the actor who would have been like the rock star guy. His behavior was ridiculous, banging hookers, blow, and openly, just kind of that guy, right? His brother was Emilio Estevez, another actor from Mighty Ducks, and his dad was a famous actor. Tombstone, yeah. Right?
Well, no, it wasn't Tombstone. It was It was
Youngblood. Wasn't Youngblood?
I think he was in that too. It was a Western.
He was in Major League, the baseball movie.
Oh, you're right, Youngblood. You're right.
Hot Shots was the best, but so he's and then
all sorts of shit.
Good time. He went on tour with that winning. And he's giving refunds now. Yeah. So Marty, he did a tour where he was speaking. He's doing like a spoken word tour, but he was high the whole time. And he's right now. He's just trying to make amends with everybody, saying, "I'm sorry. Like I'm basically sorry that I was a."
But I mean, that's like serious fucking maturity. He's reached that point now where he realized what's important is that he says he's sorry.
Yes, but I bring that up, John, because just because you talked about your episode of Starbucks, well, Marty, Sheen would have been probably John, but times 1,000 with some of his behaviors that he had.
Sheen would have had a fucking crew walking him in there and fucked up like that. He didn't care. Nobody was trying to get him out of the way. He's like, I'm fucked up. I'm going to stay here, but I got my 4 fucking bodyguards that make sure I won't fall down and break my teeth.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
I want my fucking latte or whatever he would have drank,
Hey, good morning, everybody. Hanging out with Keith and John and Marty here on Mornings in the Lab. I got a topic I want to throw on the table, and then John, let's do a lifestyle tip. I'll sneak you away for a break, and then we'll reset hour 2 here. I threw this one on. I teased this one with you guys a little bit a while ago, but it's making its way back. All 3 of us spend all of our time on the internet. It's where our businesses are. The internet might be more dead than alive within 3 years. Half of web traffic now is bots.
No shit.
Wow.
So it's speaking of bots, is this somehow connected? My fucking media guy says to me yesterday, because we're actually having a bot built, right?
Yeah.
And so I always just step into this meeting for like the last couple of minutes so they can get me up to speed.
Yes.
And I step in and they're talking about people getting arrested. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like you didn't hear? AI is not private. People that have been doing dumb shit with AI are getting arrested. Is this part of what you're talking about?
Well, so there is so because the laws have to keep up with technology, here's the discussion happening around this. So if I'm talking to Chat GPT and I reveal things that I'm going to do, and let's say I'm going to go and harm Marty, and Marty gets harmed, and then they think that Billis had something to do with it. The discussion is, could they go and subpoena OpenAI to get my chats from Chat GPT so that they could go and look at my behavior? It would be no different than me talking to AJ as my psychologist, can they go and subpoena AJ in our conversations? You know, there's that client privilege type stuff, right? So the AI companies are like, well, no, hold on a second here. If Marty's going to go if Keith's going to go reveal his darkest secrets to a software psychologist, that data should be protected no different than if John's talking to a human psychologist. So that's kind of the debate right now, which is if we subpoena, should that conversation be accessible to the authorities? I don't think it should be, for the record. I think that just like if I'm talking with my doctor, that's a client privilege discussion.
Well, you know what I said to these guys when I got to this meeting? I was like, what the fuck are you guys programming here? We got nothing to hide. Why are we talking about this?
Yes.
You know? And they're like, oh, we just got a little sidetracked talking about this, blah, blah, blah. But my position is, I mean, if you're fucking up, you're fucking up. However you get caught, you get caught.
That's it. That you're bang on, John. You're absolutely right. So to me, there's just it's another example, just no different than when our smartphones came out, right? The law has to keep up with technology. And right now there's technology that allows us to talk to these software psychologists and share our deepest, darkest secrets. Should we be able to access that stuff? And I think that if I'm going to have a conversation with my doctor or my therapist or my lawyer, that's client privilege and that nobody should be able to access that. Good time. Your question, my kid says YouTube won't be monetizing channels that are only AI content. Good time. So there's a little bit of truth to that, but not much. The reality is YouTube is encouraging folks to, what they don't want to do is I'll pick on Marty, for example. They don't want Marty making a video and remaking it 1,000 times because he can with AI, right? So they're not, so as you've noticed, we've been leaning into Preston and Sterling and Frankie and Tommy and our AI content.
They're just a piece of the equation though.
100%. Yeah. They're not penalizing us, Charlie. They're only going to penalize the folks that are making basically AI slop, where they just take a topic.
They're penalizing the people that are taking advantage. It goes right back to the fucking AI conversation. If people Johnny. Would just understand that when you do wrong at some point, whether it's the universe or the laws that get you, you're going to get got.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. And as a matter of fact, yesterday, I dropped a short last night with our True Motherfucking Story crew. It gave me ability. I'm not sure, Marty, if you have it yet. I just noticed it last night. It popped into my shorts on my iPhone. I was able to generate a Veo video vertical style right inside of my YouTube Shorts app. Yeah, true story. So I made the video and then it gave me a prompt and said, do you want to add to it? I was like, sure. I tapped on it and it generated me 2 more scenes inside of the app. So good time. So YouTube is encouraging these tools. They want us because that's how they make money. And here's what I'm noticing too, guys. And John, Marty, for you guys, just your knowledge too. I've learned how to stretch watch times. So Veo makes clips in 8 seconds. Hey, Johnny, ears up for this one. So it makes clips in 8 seconds.
You said Veo?
Yeah, Google Veo is the Veo.
Okay.
VEO is the video generator. Marty uses it as well. But the clips come out in 8 seconds. I've learned how to extend watch times because here's what we know of humans. If I can get you to lean into the hook, which we talked yesterday, John, and you're really good at, is that hook. Imagine if you did this kind of thing. If I can get you into 3 seconds to get you into that video, and if I can get you to 8 seconds, I'm learning, I can get you to 9 to that next clip. If I can get you to 12 seconds, I can get you to 16 to the next clip. I've actually been watching data, John and Marty, where we are watching our watch times go up because I'm getting Marty to that 3rd second, that 8th second in the video clip, and then changing it to the next scene and getting him to 16 seconds more to 24 to 32. All the data is doing this. I'm learning how to do it. It's fucking awesome.
You know, the hard part, I mean, I love what you're saying. You're so correct. Yeah. But the hard part about this is that all those timestamp markers, so to speak, change as people's attention spans keep getting shorter.
Yes.
I mean, it used to be, God, I'm trying to think back when I was making videos at very first, the amount of time that you needed, or the amount of time, it's like, it's gone down probably 500%.
There's
terms
no
of like, you got to do something so quickly now to keep them there.
You have less than 3 seconds to hook somebody. That's one thing, John. You are
used
awesome,
to be
man.
more than double that awesome. Not too long ago. Remember?
Yeah, no, it's less than 3. And I've been neurotic with the data because these clips are 8 seconds long, and it's incredible how much value you can put into 8 seconds. Marty, you know, because you make them too, how much value you can put into 8 seconds, right? So if you can get somebody hooked into 8 seconds, you can probably get them to 9 to 12 to 16. And if you watch the content, I've been doing it quite strategically. All right, guys, listen, Jimmy, let's do the lifestyle transition to Johnny. We'll do a lifestyle tip so John could do a quick little break. Marty, you stick around for the last half an hour, buddy. You got to rock and roll.
I got to rock and roll, but I'll be here tomorrow.
Beautiful.
I'll be here on time tomorrow. Yep.
Beautiful. Okay,
Right on,
awesome.
brother.
Beautiful.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
so let's we'll walk Marty out of here. Jimmy, we'll do a lifestyle tip with John, and then we'll come back and get into the deep dive for the next 30 minutes. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Have a good loop, brother.
Do you see them? Look at Keith and John waiting for us to say something clever to roll into the lifestyle tip.
Well, fellas, you don't always get what you want. There's a lifestyle tip for you.
All right, this one's going to kind of bounce off our conversation we're having about addiction. I mean, we're talking about, some of my personal addictions. The amount of people out there that are hooked on some sort of an opiate, the numbers are insane, especially in America. I believe that, we're less than 10% of the population, but we consume more than 75% of the pills. Forgive me if that's not correct, but that gives you a really good idea of how much we consume as American people in terms of prescription drugs. So here's the tip. If you're struggling with this stuff, and I've been there many times, even me being a pillar of discipline, barely fought my way out of these things. The tip is go get some help. Looking back on my journey, if I had done that, I would have been more successful. Now, I think my lucky stars, and I think my discipline that I was able to come out of all of these things. But many of you guys haven't developed the discipline necessary to pull out of something that's this powerful. And it seems okay because you're getting a prescription from your doctor. It seems like it's not going to be a problem because he or she told you it's okay. Well, unfortunately, the system's kind of rigged against us. So the tip is simple, but more than anything, I just want to help you guys understand that if you have this problem and you're listening, I understand you're not alone. And again, the tip is simple. If you can't stop by yourself, go get some help. Rock and roll.
If Frankie and Tommy weren't so unreliable, we wouldn't be out here doing their job.
A true business athlete adapts. That's why we're here.
Hour 2.
Deep dive, win your day before it begins.
Loop reloaded. Feelings lie, numbers don't. And morning focus. One habit to supercharge every day. Oh, the story just got real.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, team, I'm a little bit confused by our boxes here. We got hour 2 opener. We got hour 2 reset monologue. We got no CTA. So just a heads up, guys, for our post-production later. Jimmy, we're a little bit off on our setup here. So, guys, just listen. Hour 2. Good morning, everybody. What's shaking? What is shaking? Going to look at the comments here. John Petricelli, new book, My Messy Condo. Nobody Wants Your Shit, The Art of Decluttering Before You Die. Yes. At what point do we start to declutter? That's a good conversation, actually. That is a great conversation. I'm actually going to have that right now. When do we declutter? Actually, dude, this is a good one, Petro. I'm going to ask Andy this one because, as we get older, we start to think minimalism. And I'm going to throw the question out to Nation, to Matty Roof there, Kindness Rising, 7:30 Eastern time here on the Big Show. Mornings in the Lab Network here. And we got B Drive Adam. When do we start decluttering? And I'm going to throw some stuff on the table here. I've been kind of thinking about it myself these days. I'm like, so what do I need? What don't I need? And, the idea of, I know my parents have been decluttering. They're in their 80s. But when do we start decluttering stuff and getting rid of shit? in the digital world, I find that I have less and less analog stuff around. Decluttering, that is a fascinating conversation. Kindness Rising. I know Matt's going through some stuff with his family here. Moving, just households are changing and stuff. But every day. But the accelerator is when your kids move out. Well, it's funny, Maddie, because Carter's not in the house right now, and I was down there in the gym this morning, and I was looking in his room, and I was thinking to myself, like, does that become a storage room? Do we move stuff out? Does it become the extra room for, longevity, life expectancy for roofie, right? So I start to like, when do you declutter? Right, Bernard, I'm the wrong guy. So Bernard, I'm not surprised actually. I'm not surprised that you are the wrong guy for advice on clutter. Bernard, you remind me of my dad because of your comment. I've always built what I need of what I have. Collecting useful stuff is a habit I could address. Bernard, that video we had that conversation a few weeks ago, you remind me of my dad. And what I mean by that is that you're like, I could use that. So here's what I'm thinking, Bernard. You're the kind of guy who's walking through a neighborhood or a yard or a garbage dump or a Home Depot or some store, and you're like, I think I could use that item, but I don't know when, I don't know how, or I don't know where, but I know I could use it one day. So you buy it. And then it ends up in your place, maybe at a garage sale. And then one day, 30 years down the road, you're like, yeah, that item I bought, I can use that right now. Well, my dad has a garage and a building and a complete space of stuff that I know we kids are going to have to declutter one day. So Bernard, I'm suspecting you're that guy too. I really am. I don't know if Andersen is a clutter guy. I'm going to, when Andersen gets back here, I'm going to talk to him about clutter. If we are I don't like clutter. And I know Lauren doesn't like clutter either. I think we have the cleanest fridge in Manitoba, actually. I'm saying that with lots of love. Having a clean fridge is a clean house. Rufus says, when life changes, it makes you evaluate your priorities. I love getting rid of shit. He says, donate, sell it, or give away. Get it out of my house. I'm more frugal. I grab free stuff on the roadside. Oh, you're one of those, Bernard. That's awesome, man. Johnny, when do you start decluttering, man? You and Terry declutter your house or what?
We got an interesting mix.
Yeah, I'm curious about this.
Because I fucking throw shit out.
What's your decision when you throw shit out? So here's mine. It's like, have I used it in 6 months? Am I going to use it in the next 6 months? If the answer is no to both sides, I don't need it.
I don't think I go that far. I think, am I using this? It's like, I can just kind of feel if something is necessary. Now, granted, Terry and I make the joke with Terry. I said, look, if we weren't together, they would have made a fucking TV show about you. And then when I'm talking about those hoarder shows, where you barely enough fucking room to walk in the house,
Oh my God.
She just, but keep in mind, it's a sensitive topic because here is a girl who literally was raised, they were poor. I mean, she had one pair of fucking shoes, one fucking pair of pants, maybe a shirt. She had to wash her clothes every fucking day. So she didn't have things. And so having things to her feels good. And I get it.
Yes.
Some of the shit that are deep rooted to me from when I was a kid, I just don't have those same, programs that she has. So basically, I just kind of let her do her thing, but I keep it all very fucking organized.
It's interesting because I back to my dad, my mom and dad who didn't grow up with very much. So when you
I think that's part of it,
So you may or may not have been heard me joke with my old man because my old man collects everything.
Yeah, you said there's a fucking building where you're gonna have to deal with all that shit.
But I think to your point, that's exactly why, because he didn't grow up with very much. So I think your wealth was like, look what I have. Right. Yeah. And not define wealth by what's in your bank account, but it's just like I've accumulated all these possessions that one day I could find value in these possessions. Right. So I could tell you there was times growing up in my folks' house when they wanted to clean stuff up and I was wanting to clean, like as in clean. And it was a battle. I'm like, well, you haven't used it in fucking 10 years. Get rid of it. No, but I might use it one day.
When and you know, she even has that with food, right?
Oh.
She was hungry all the fucking time.
There you go.
So, I mean, Jesus Christ, we have this. I wasn't even thinking when I did this. God damn it. But Jesus Christ, it really fucking backfired. We've always had multiple refrigerators in a freezer just because there's got to be a lot of food on hand for me. Always. But it's been 2 normal size refrigerators in a deep freeze, right?
Yeah.
So when we moved to this house, it's just a bigger fucking place, you know. So like 2 garages. So in the garage that's off the kitchen, I put one of those, you know, fucking double door, huge, fucking, like, I guess you'd call it like a commercial refrigerator.
Yes.
This fucking thing, I don't know what the cubic, I could climb in there. You could put me on multiple shelves, right? This thing is fucking, whatever there is for her to fill up with food is going to be fucking full.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy Christ. And so I just have to realize that this is just one of those, it's just a thing that's deep in her. And I just have to realize that this makes her feel good. Just fucking let her do what she needs to do. But food and possessions.
When I'm grateful,
like her closet, dude. Oh my God.
When I'm grateful to have you here as a visitor, and I'll take it to my folks, I'll take it down to their cold room. I'll take it to my mom's 2 freezers. My mom comes from a farm, Johnny. My mom has canned, and my mom has not only canned her food and froze her food. Dude, there's things in the bottom of those 2 freezers that I swear are there's still probably food in there from when I lived there 25 years ago.
Well, you know, brother, that was the fucking problem. We had this freezer chest. It was a big motherfucker.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the problem is you only get to the top half of it. I was like, Jesus Christ, if we don't ever let this go to the bottom, we're never going to get the shit off the bottom.
It's so true.
And so that's why, again, I wasn't fucking thinking. I made another fucking mistake. I bought a fucking upright commercial fucking freezer. I mean, granted, we can get to all the shit because there's shelves.
Yes.
But those chests are kind of, you think, oh, this is great. But to get something out of the bottom, it might take you 30 minutes.
Oh, and then you're like, yeah, I know I put a roast beef in there. Oh, that's the one that I bought from 4 years ago, right?
And dude, your fucking hands are the tips are frozen because you're holding on to so much cold shit. Dude, listen to this. We were in Mexico for 3 months a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And we came back and Tara comes into the house and goes, we got a problem. And I was like, oh, fuck. Just by the way she said we got a problem, I'm thinking, you know, one of the fucking cars got stolen. Like that was the tone of her voice. Well, what had happened is the freezer went out. So basically it was a serious problem because all the fucking food in there went south and spoiled, but it leaked all this nasty shit all over the fucking floor. But dude, I got to tell you, I don't get fucking sicked out much. And the smell of that rotting fucking flesh was so bad.
Oh,
dude. It was like, I mean, I felt like, I mean, I have never had to suck that big or dirty of a cock in my life. I was just like borderline heaving the whole time. And the crazy part was, dude, you could, when you pulled the pork out, the pork had its own smell.
I can smell it right now, right?
Dude, I couldn't get it off my fucking hands. I mean, it was fucking unbelievable. I mean, we had to the freezer took months to fucking, I was like, I don't even know if we're going to fix this. If I can't get the smell out, I'm not going to pay to have it fixed.
You know, you and I, we need to get somebody on the show that can help educate us on why things just smell forever. Because sometimes
how does that smell permeate stainless steel?
That's what I mean. Exactly. There's some smell that
it doesn't make sense.
And I know that you can smell it right now as you're telling the story right now. Oh, I know that you can go back and smell it in your own head. You're like, I know that you can smell it right now like it was yesterday, right?
Dude, listen to this. We had these chunks of one of our buddies. You know, he loves to offshore fish. So he brings us these it was like probably cantaloupe sizes of fucking ahi tuna, raw fucking, like we were basically gonna unfreeze it and eat it raw. It was so fresh.
Oh, yes.
So there was 3 of these things. Well, they were vacuum packed, right? So these things expanded like a fucking basketball, right? And so when I reached in and picked it up and pulled it out, it was completely liquefied. It had turned into fucking just fluid. Oh, dude. I can't even imagine what the fuck went on with that. But how does flesh turn into fucking liquid?
So
I have to imagine there was some sort of fucking parasite in there just fucking chewing away. I don't know. Fuck.
Do you recall that? I don't know if you recall it or not, but I guess it was maybe last summer or the summer before. There was that smell coming from where Lauren works, and there was a smell, and it was like something. It was a horrible smell, and it kept getting worse, And I'm paraphrasing here. Well, there was a dead body underneath the deck. Under the deck. So a lady went under the deck in the cold to find a place.
She wasn't even buried. It wasn't like somebody buried. She was just laying down there.
Well, get this. She went to look for shelter in the cold winter here in Manitoba. She went under this deck, I guess, in the cold to find somewhere warm, went to sleep and died. The snow melted. Well, so did her body, going from frozen body to warm body. And Lauren and her team kept going to work and walking up these stairs over this deck.
Yeah, what is that smell? What is that
smell?
Yeah, what is that smell?
She was coming home going, what the fuck is this?
You finally got to investigate. What is that smell?
Yes, and that's exactly what it was. And they opened up the deck, and sure enough, she had a drug OD. She went to sleep, never woke up. But to your point, it was like as the snow was melting, as the temperatures became warmer, it was like, what's the smell? And sure enough, it was a decomposing body. I can tell you, there was a dead deer in our backyard here a few summers ago. I've never smelled anything like it, and I can still smell it today like it was yesterday. Like I said, there's certain things that, or you go into an apartment building, John, you know, maybe when you were moving your daughter a few months ago, and there's some folks that are from not North America that are cooking food, and you're like, wait a minute, why does it just smell a certain way in this apartment building? These smells just stick around.
Oh, dude, when I was a kid, we had a Springer Spaniel, right? And we lived on the river, and you know, it was a 2-acre plot. What's that? Oh, did you?
Yeah. What the fuck?
What was his name? What was the name? Mine was Chief.
Ours was Chopper.
Yeah, Chief was my first childhood dog. Really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, just by his nature, and we lived, you know, it was basically a big wooded property because we were right on the river.
Yeah.
You know, and because of the river, there's all sorts of fucking wildlife.
Yes.
Well, if something would fucking die or whatever happened, he would find it. He would go fucking roll in these fucking decaying carcasses and come back. They're like, fuck, he did it again. And you can't stop him. It's in their nature.
Yes.
We would have to fucking wash him. It was like, Jesus Christ, dude. It was like the most foul fuck. I mean, I can only imagine what he was rolling in, because you'd find some of these things and they'd just be covered in fucking maggots.
Oh man, Melissa just put this up in here. I guess I could have went to Grok for this, but how does flesh turn into liquid, John? Well, flesh turns into liquid primarily through a natural process called obviously decomposition, especially during the stages known as autolysis and putrefaction, where the body's tissues are broken down by cellular. It begins within hours after death. Again, you were talking yesterday about cells, and the question you said was, if cells are our life, why aren't we spending more time focusing on our cells? Well, and you know, within hours of death, our cells start to break down and turning into liquid.
Dude, so much of my own personal research has been around the cell and the mitochondria. It's fucking crazy.
Interesting.
It's just crazy how much potential there is for us humans that can be tapped into that we're not.
Yes. Okay, listen, I know you got to rock and roll here. I got one more topic for you now to chew on before I get you out of here. Rufy comes back with smell of death and decay is strong instinct. Yes, or we wouldn't eat it. Oh, interesting. Never thought about that. Right. Smell of death and decay is a strong instinct, so we would not eat it. And and well, Lauren's right. As we know, our bodies are primarily water. All right, guys. Jimmy,
it doesn't take much to make that smell that you won't eat something. I'll tell you that. Fuck.
Oh, fuck no. No way. Feelings lie, numbers don't. I know we talk often about feelings on this show, and I like that because feelings are hard to quantify. But when you have intention and awareness around feelings, I believe that's when magic can happen. Let's talk about the real way to track growth. Jimmy, Melissa, let's run this clip.
What if everything you think you know about measuring your own progress is completely backwards? What if the very thing you trust most is actually sabotaging your growth? Every day, you wake up wondering if you're actually moving forward or just spinning your wheels. That nagging feeling that you're stuck, that nothing's changing, that all your effort isn't paying off. When you shift to this evidence-based method, you'll finally see your real trajectory and know exactly where to focus your energy for maximum impact. Stop guessing, start knowing. Your breakthrough is in the data.
Johnny, this is a personal conversation. Thanks to Melissa for calling this one out. And I think you'll appreciate this. Actually, I know you'll appreciate this. So this started with a conversation I had with Carter last week. And on Tuesday last week when he moved, actually you were texting him and I was texting him. I said, how you feeling? He's like, I'm feeling fine. I said, no, how you feeling? And
yeah, because it's too much of a general question.
And he knows when I asked him that question because we've talked enough that he knows I want to lean into a number. He's like, I'm about a 2. I'm like, oh, okay, 2.
Yeah,
3.
because you scale it, right? You're 1 to 10 in it.
Yesterday, I asked him a question, Johnny. How you feeling, Bees? Oh, I'm a 7. It's like, yes. Because me as a dad, I can sit back comfortably, know that, okay, he was a 2 last Tuesday. He's a 7 today. Guess how I felt yesterday as a human being? I felt pretty damn good because he's now a 7. I'm not worrying. So I want to talk about, because you talk about it often and I talk about it often, is that when you're working with your clients and you're like, I feel good today. I know what you're really asking them. No, tell me how you're feeling. Right. And I think that I don't think we as humans do a good enough job quantifying that idea of a feeling. Do you agree?
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things with them that I set up right from the beginning.
Yes.
Is I'll say, look, our metrics. Let's talk about our metrics.
Okay.
What are we using to quantify success?
Yes.
And I said the scale needs to slide down the totem pole.
Yes.
Yes, it's part, but it's a small part.
Yes.
How you feel is number 1. How you perform is number 2.
Yes.
How your clothes fit is number 3. And that right there is the initial, right? But then once we get a little bit deeper into it, a few weeks in, then I let them know that now I need to understand your feeling of general wellness.
Yes.
Because at that point, a couple weeks in, we should have restored some gut health, which now would actually give them and they say, what do you mean by that? And I say, well, you're probably going to get a feeling of good that you can't describe. That's what a good feeling of wellness is. And that's kind of one of those things where most people have never felt that before because their gut health has been off enough that their gut is not releasing the amount of serotonin it should be. And that serotonin is what gives us that feeling of just wellness. I feel good. I don't really know how to describe it.
Feelings are volatile. One bad sleep, one stressful email, and suddenly the whole perception shifts. When we deal with numbers, it can reveal truth. It can show patterns over time. There's something you do. You may not even be aware you do it, but you speak very specifically, especially with numbers, when you talk about your reading. You talk about your dyslexia. You talk about, and again, you might not even be aware of this, but you don't say I read 1 chapter or page a day. You put numbers. You intentionally.
Well, but remember that 1 page is just that's the non-negotiable.
But my point though is that you intentionally are very specific with words you choose instead of, and I'm using that as an example for people to lean into instead of just saying I read today. Well, no, but how much did you read? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And I think where I use numbers is going to be more to establish and actually quantify a low barrier of entry. That's where a number becomes very helpful in the fact that, like, I can walk for 60 seconds. I can walk for 1 minute.
Yes.
Go for a walk.
Exactly correct. That's
go
what
for
I mean.
a 1 minute walk. And if you want to go for 2, keep going.
100%. Actually, since you said that, I have a confession. Yesterday, I told you I was chasing a feeling. And you told me
you went and did it anyway.
I had to go downstairs for a lift.
Well, there will become a point in time where you may discover that reframing will actually give you a bigger payday.
Yes.
And that's what it is. You'll realize, well,
100%.
shit, I got a payday for this, but it was smaller than if I'd taken the day off. And once you
Yes.
start to understand the paydays, because right now it's probably hard for you to tell.
Yeah,
Which
well,
means,
it was
which
one of
means
those,
it's kind of chicken or egg.
well, and it was as much about gratitude, John, because I really love the place that I have here. I'm really grateful that I get the chance to do it. Right. So I had a busy day yesterday. I was sedentary. I was like, you know what? I know it's going to make me feel back to feeling again if I go and clock 15 minutes and just and get that full feeling. I wanted that full feeling in my chest and my upper body. I wanted that muscle to flow and feels. We're talking feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I put in 15 minutes of work. I captured that feeling, and it turned into a number of productive hours of work for me. It didn't sabotage today because I didn't go after for an hour. I did, but it was just so I can feel again, back to feeling. It made me feel full, and it gave me that accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? I know you.
Well, it's 100%, but it sounds like what you kind of pared it back into. Okay, I'm going to do something that's going to help me feel better and perform better.
Yeah.
Rather than I'm going to fucking bust my ass and go for the feeling of, okay, I got my ass kicked.
Yes.
There's
You're
two different
right.
two different types of I guess you would say blood flow.
That's
like
a good
when
way
we're
to put it.
done, I'm going for the I kicked my ass. When I do my early morning, I just want to wake up.
I was chasing gratitude yesterday. Gratitude and get. Right. Instead of chasing that, I want to feel like a big fucking human right now. I'm pushing 250 on the bench. No, I was like, okay, no, I'm going to feel pretty good about just going on. I want to get a full feeling in my chest and shoulders. I did some bench press. I did some pull-ups. I did some shoulder press. I was good to go. Did some compound movements and I was good to go. So it was simple for me.
Yeah. And it's when it comes down to it it's if we use exercise and we use all these different methodologies to make our lives better. And as long as we're using the tools properly, we're in good shape.
Hey, before we wrap up this conversation on feeling, do you think that tracking kills joy, or do you think it creates freedom? And specifically for you, because you are one who's very structured, and I love that. But do you think
what type of tracking are we talking about?
Just generally, like you're tracking. Like just maybe tracking how you go through your day, like tracking, your hours, your boxes, you're getting your shit done. Like, do you sometimes think it creates too much structure for you, or do you think it actually gives you freedom?
Well, I guess the first thing that, okay, I'll use a client as a perfect example. Yesterday, he's like, I want to start doing a blood test every month so I can start tracking the markers. I'm like, dude, how about we take that energy and we put it into doing what we do every day better? Because these markers right now are going to be fucking in the woods in 2 months.
Yes.
So are we tracking something that actually is going to matter? Because a lot of times people track shit that doesn't matter. And at that point, it's a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of figure out, is your tracking maybe necessary? If it's necessary, it's helpful. If it's just something you're doing, which so many people do, it comes down, is it a distraction or is it actually helping?
And maybe the word tracking can be reframed as scheduling or organizing.
Okay.
Right?
Now we got a different
when I think
angle.
about Meltzer talking about his 12 hours is scheduled, I'm gonna think that your schedule creates freedom for you.
Yeah, well, here I just had a conversation on the podcast yesterday, or the day before, with Mark Bell, where we were talking about. He's actually urging me to write a systems book.
Oh yeah.
But because we were talking about, like how to avoid depression and blah 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 blah, and all I can really do is attest to my methodologies, because that's the way that works for me, and that's what I teach.
Yes,
and so. My planning, right? Scheduling, right? That's the term used. So I've scheduled out or planned out yesterday.
Yes.
So I've already mentally connected the joy I'm going to have today. So my brain is already in tune with the good that's coming down the pipe, versus if I didn't, my brain might wander off into the way it's originally programmed and find itself worrying about shit that doesn't matter, doesn't help me. So I would say yes, freedom, but more importantly, joy.
That's yes. Well, because what you're also putting into place is visualization. We talk about that often in the show, because when you see yesterday, when you saw your day today, it created joy for you, but it also helped you see through the day today what you were going to do, and it gave you a good feeling, back to that feeling. Like, okay, I'm looking forward to getting up tomorrow. I'm looking forward to getting after tomorrow. I'm looking forward to getting shit done tomorrow.
It's like when a kid knows that he's got a birthday coming or he's going to a movie.
Yeah.
He spends days just happy thinking about that because he's looking forward to it. Well, why don't we use that mechanism every day?
I have a friend who teaches happiness. His name's Ray White. And we often talk about the best part of a trip. We don't talk often enough as human beings is the build up to the trip.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you book your trip, that's actually when your trip starts. Those days building up to actually going, planning, visualizing, thinking about it, packing. Because then when we get into the trip, you're in the middle of it, then it's all over. Right. And I think if we as humans can get our heads wrapped around, once you book your trip, that's when the trip is actually starting. It's the mental visualization of that trip starting.
Well, and that's kind of that whole idea behind literally, I do that to myself every day.
Yes.
And the simplest tasks I look forward to.
Yes. Yeah. That was me today. I was looking forward to today. I went to bed a little bit too late last night, but I was looking forward to today because I knew I had a fun day to get after today. So, okay, pal, speaking of, I got to get you on with your day. What are you going to go lift up today? What are you working on? Is it a day off today for you in the gym? No, it's a training day.
No, today's a day.
Yeah. Training day.
Yeah. Yesterday I was traveling. So, so it's going to be a upper body. It's going to be primarily chest, a little bit of shoulders, and some arms.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Yeah. You train your arms. You do the.
I train them every time I train.
Yeah.
They're short workouts. My arms respond as I get older. They're responding to more frequent, shorter workouts.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. They work much better with 3-ish workouts per week.
Yeah.
But never more than 5 sets per workout.
Do you are the big compound lifts not enough for your arms? And I'm being serious. You need to spend the extra time on the arms.
I think it's probably the overall volume of what I'm doing is less too.
Okay. Yeah,
so,
it does. Yeah, 100%.
When I was doing 15 sets of pull-ups, my biceps were pretty smoked.
Sure.
I'm not doing that type of volume anymore.
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you something I'm excited about. You said a couple days ago you fucking broke some news. You didn't even realize it. Dude, we got 7 years before you're 60 and you're going to get on fucking stage again. I'm loving that. And I'm going to be part of that journey with you, motherfucker. I am. So you said it. I'm like, yes, I love that.
Yeah. That's the plan. I suppose.
Love that.
Because that's kind of where that's the marker of where that window would open up for me to check a box. I might do it before then, but I think that's the one that I would say that's in terms of me reaching a goal, checking a box before I die. That first year or two after 60 that's where the opportunity, the window is the biggest.
I'm excited about that for you. When you told us,
and then I'd have to wait until I was 70.
Oh yeah. So is that like is that master's class? Is that master's at that point?
Yeah,
it is, isn't it? Yeah. What's master's start at 58, 55?
So,
or is it weight class?
I'm trying to think here. Yeah, it's age. So they go, it's 40s and up, 40s, 50s. Okay. So it's every decade. I've actually looked at the world champion 50. He just won a few months ago. And I probably could eke that out.
Could you? Yeah.
Because this last guy's won 2 years in a row, but it's the same plan. Everybody dives in right when they're 50.
Oh,
so he's done it the last 2 years. He's basically 52 right now.
Okay.
Somebody else will come in.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good handle on it.
Yep.
Next guy comes in that's still fucking holding some beef, because 50 is that age where where muscle size and fullness really starts to decline. And so if you can be lean and full up there, you are fucking taking them down.
Yeah. I'm noticing that as you get into, I am noticing that in my 50s that there's the muscle. Like I was never the biggest guy in the world because I was fat, but the idea of watching muscle decline and so forth, I can see it. Like as a smaller man, I can definitely see it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've toured with the idea in my 50s for sure.
Good Time's going to support you too. Well, we're going to have the whole Mornings in the Lab, Nate. That's awesome, man. I fucking want to be part of that journey. That's pretty damn cool. Okay,
well, it's kind of weird because at 60s, man, you were an old fucker up there, right?
Well,
it's
sure
like
you are.
You look at the difference between your open pictures where you're fucking 275 on fucking stage, which is bigger than I am now.
Yes.
But I was in show condition, you know. Different world, baby.
All right, pal. Good conversation with you today. You enjoy your day.
Have a good loop, my brother.
We'll see you in less than 22 hours. All right, Jimmy, let's walk Johnny out of here. Let's keep the show rocking and rolling. Good morning, everybody. You're hanging out with Keith Billis here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John here, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. Good time. When I was a kid, we had a dead mouse in the bathroom wall. Gross smell. I've often wondered that, like, how, you know, I got to be honest. I don't know if I've smelt a dead mouse before. I got to think a lot of houses have dead mice in them. Maybe when we're wondering where that smell's coming from, maybe it's the dead mouse in the wall. That's just gross, man. And yeah, Good Time. I'm with you, man. I'm going to support Johnny too. That's fucking awesome. If he gets on stage there in his 60s. Yeah. All right, Jimmy, let's do the one habit that supercharges every workday morning. And then we'll work our way to the community corner this morning in the lab on the big show. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Johnny, and friends. Jimmy, let's run that transition, brother.
One habit. One habit.
What if Hey guys, a little technical difficulties there. All right, let's get to the community corner.
Amid all this noise, one thing doesn't change. The community is the reason we're here. Community Corner, the part of the show where the spotlight's on you, nation.
All right, guys, it's time for the community corner, where we connect YouTube, LinkedIn, and Substack on Mornings in the Lab. Today, we're going to talk about the power of micro habits to transform your month, why your body, not your mind, needs the reset button to handle stress, and the career mantra that turns I have no clue. Start our journey this morning. It started over on YouTube. 10 habits that actually stick. Yes. Joshua Becker. Hold on a second here. There we go. Joshua Becker makes a strong case. A change doesn't come from grand gestures. It comes from tiny, repeatable moves. Like 10 minutes of decluttering, phone-free mornings, a single hour without screens before bed. These micro habits stack like bricks, and in 30 days, you can feel the compound effects. Protecting mornings and evenings is key. They're the bookends of discipline, and tracking wins, even as simple as water, builds momentum. Guys, what are your non-negotiable habits that always keep you moving forward? We'd love to hear about them in the comments. All right, moving on to Substack. Brain and Balance over at Substack says, if your nervous system is stuck in survival mode, no amount of positive journaling is going to fix it. Chronic stress, literally hijacking HPA access, jacking cortisol, killing digestion, wrecking immunity, and the fix? It's to go body first. Shaking, humming, tapping, breathing, the somatic tools that are regulating the vagus nerve and dump stored stress from your system. Even 2 minutes a day makes a measurable difference in calm and sleep. If stress is living in your body, shouldn't that solution start there too? Guys, think about it. Think about it. If that stress is living in your body, I'm thinking that the solution might start there as well. Spending some time on LinkedIn. The power of figure it out mode. Oh yeah, the figure it out mode. Well, Lee Burbridge is Redo reminds us of something we all forget. There's no manual moment for the big moments. No, we don't get handed a playbook when cash flow is tight, when a negotiation goes sideways, or when you've got to make a call on people. Her mantra is actually, fuck it, I'll figure it out. Yeah, that mindset, choosing action over paralysis, is the real separator. Everything is figure outable, guys. We talk about it here on the show, but only if you move and only if you want to. If you want to figure something out, you will absolutely figure it out. So here's the test. When pressure hits, do you freeze or do you figure it out? Huh? Do you figure it out or do you freeze? All right, guys, listen. Progress belongs to the doers. That's our philosophy on this show. So start the habit, reset the body, and say yes before you're ready. If you want your story featured on the next Mornings in the Lab Community Corner, I invite you. Follow us, tag us, let us know you're out there so we can celebrate you on our upcoming Mornings in the Lab in the Community Corner. What happens when design meets discipline and creativity becomes a way of life? This guy stepped out of the startup grind, picked up his brush as often as his business plan, and started reimagining how we fuel our mornings. From leading design at fast growth companies to founding a wellness brand that shook up the coffee industry, his path is anything but ordinary. Mornings in the Lab is excited to celebrate Shane Heath, entrepreneur, artist, and founder of MUD/WTR, proving that morning rituals can be both mindful and bold. Follow Shane for a fresh take on what it means to build, create, and live with intention. Shane Heath is not just a founder. No, he's a dad. He's an artist, and he's a man who decided mornings didn't have to look the way they always had. He paints, he builds, he experiments, because for him, creativity is as much a daily ritual as running a company. And that's what makes his journey powerful. It's the way he shows us that our routines, our work, and our art can all flow together. This isn't about balance, it's about integration. And that's why today we're proud to shine the spotlight on Shane. And Shane, here's how it works. We're taking some time out of our day to celebrate you today, brother. We'd love to have you on Mornings in the Lab so we can celebrate somebody in your orbit on an upcoming Community Corner segment here in the lab on Mornings in the Lab. Ever feel like your brain runs faster than the world around you? For many adults, a late ADHD diagnosis can feel like both a shock and a revelation. One creator took that moment and built an entire community around it, turning what felt like a challenge into a place of belonging. With a guide called Now What?, a podcast that's sparking conversations, and a newsletter that speaks directly to late diagnosed adults, he's proving that wisdom comes with time and perspective. Mornings in the Lab is proud to celebrate Dave Delaney, the chief wise squirrel helping adults everywhere embrace the strengths of their ADHD. Dave Delaney didn't go looking for a label. Nope. But the label found him. At 50 years old, he found out he had ADHD. Doesn't everybody? Sorry. It just seems like everybody on the planet these days has been diagnosed with ADHD. I'm sorry, I'm just going to throw this out there, and I'm not trying to hijack the Dave Delaney segment. Dude, I'm glad you got yourself diagnosed. I'm glad that it's been a label that's been assigned. And I have all the grace in the world for this. I have never been around more human beings in the last year and a half since I'm doing this show, where it seems like everybody has ADHD. It's actually incredible to me. True story. And I'm putting myself into this bundle. It's like the entire world is chasing squirrels. And part of me at this point is wondering if it's even a thing. Yeah, it's actually true. So Dave, I'd love to have you on the show. True. I'd love to have you on the show and have a conversation about this. I really would. Because I'm in my 50s, you know, and I... Okay, so I get diagnosed with ADHD, so now what? It's like somebody saying you got COVID, so now what? It's like, I don't know. And Melissa's here, whatever the issue is, blame the squirrels. I know, and it's just, I guess because I have this platform, this is my place to express my opinion. But I can't get over how many conversations I'm constantly seeing on LinkedIn, ADHD coach there, ADHD coach here, you got ADHD, this ADHD. Like, at what point is it just a crutch? At what point is it a crutch? At what point is it this is going to be my content I'm going to talk about, and I'm just going to be an ADHD expert? Well, fuck, everybody's ADHD experts. Is it real? Is it a crutch? Is it actually? And listen, nation, I am by no means trying to be disrespectful. It's just simply not lost upon me that we all seem to talk about it, right? And it's and I'm with you, Bernard. It's a power. And listen, I get it. Hold the fucking horses. There's a squirrel over here. I gotta go. Hold on. Sorry, I got distracted there. And I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm not trying to make fun. If anything, maybe I'm flipping it on its head. Then why don't we just call it normal? Melissa, Jimmy, Bernard, why don't we just call it normal? Yeah, I normally chase a squirrel every now and then. I normally get distracted every now and then. Here's my concern. Is that when we put this label on things, it's like somebody says I can have a pass. Well, he has an ADHD, so I'm going to lower my expectations. And so it's like if I came to you and said, well, hey, Melissa, I have ADHD, she's immediately going to say, okay, well, he has ADHD, which then now frames my label, which now allows her to treat me differently because she knows that I've labeled myself. So I don't know. How about if I just said I'm normal and I get distracted and I'm doing my best? Just saying. Just throwing it out there for conversation. Yep. Hyperactivity, Bernard. True story. And ADHD is going to be very common in self-employed people. Extraordinary. Yeah, listen, like I said, I got no problems at all with it. I think for me, it just striking back to Dave Delaney, it's just this, it's like some folks wear it with a badge of honor. And that to me is where I'm like, what? Right? It's like, because we can wear this badge of honor, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to drop the topic until it comes up tomorrow. And then come to the next day. Or until I open up my LinkedIn feed today and I see the next person that's talking about ADHD. Because there was somebody in my orbit, whatever, a year and a half, a while ago, everything was linked to that. And at what point do we just take responsibility for who we are? That is my point. Oh, I'm this. So that's just why I am. Okay. I have ADHD, so I can't wake up in the morning. Okay. Bernard, it requires discipline. That's all. Listen, I'm not by all means being dismissive of it. I've never had more conversations with human beings that speak about ADHD than since we've started this show. So I think it's worth being curious about. That's all. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys, listen, we got a note from our guest today. And I know we were having some humor about where our guest was here today. Well, he had a good reason to miss the show today. And his reason was, and yeah, Melissa, it's like saying Jesus has got my back. I can do what I want. Yeah. I don't know. Or it's like saying, I made a mistake. I regret it. Okay. There you go. No responsibility. No acceptance of the words. Just that's what it is. All right. But hey, we had a guest here today, Kent Richardson. I blew past the alarm, staying up with the baby. Staying up with the baby. That was 100% my fault. So Kent, you get a pass. We're going to invite you back to the big show, Mornings in the Lab, Keith, John, and Friends, so that we can just tease you about the fact that you slept through your alarm because you were up with the baby. So Jimmy, Melissa, that's why the only reason we want to have Kent Richardson in the show is so we can tease him about sleeping through the alarm because of the baby. The baby kept Kent Richardson up. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up the show today. We're back tomorrow, less than 22 hours. Yep, 22 hours. We're back with the big one, Mornings in the Lab. But hey, before that, 7:30 Eastern time, Matt Roof's getting after it. Kindness Rising helps you guys get up on the right side of the bed. Matt's whole purpose is to get up to help you guys get up on the right side of the bed, not the wrong side. So I invite you to check out his show, 7:30 Eastern time tomorrow, before we start at 8 Eastern time. Bernard coming in. I agree. I'm not dismissive either. Some would label me as that as a child, others as an adult. I don't know. I just do more than most people are willing to do for less sometimes for those in need and stay busy. Bernard, that's why you're part of the community, man. You are one of those that do the shit that others don't do. It's clear, which is why you're here. Holroyd's here. Global's here. Lady Drew is here, right? Lauren's here. It's the folks that are doing the stuff that others don't do, which is part of the Mornings in the Lab community. Hey, and our label is, we're just Mornings in the Lab Nation. Yeah, there you go. Okay, guys, so listen, we're back tomorrow, less than 22 hours with the big one. Like I said, though, join Matt Roof, 7:30 Eastern time. I got a note here from Petro's dad. Just leaning into the conversation, we kicked the show off with Charlie Kirk. No matter how divided the country is, violence is not the answer. And I think that's the best way to wrap it up. Dad Petro, is that you're right, man. We don't really care the color you wear, your views. Violence is not the answer at all. Michael coming back saying ADHD is the mind finding its identity. We want to know ourselves from curiosity. We stop looking at others and analyze ourselves. Great conversation, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to put it out there. I think for me, I'm starting to create awareness around those folks that are leading their business with that as the caveat. That is maybe where I kind of just have an opinion. But hey, we'll leave the opinions till tomorrow. But until then, we're going to get out of here, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Free for All Friday. Tom Ritchie is joining me in the community corner. We're going to talk cannabis tomorrow, the bottom of the second hour. So I invite you guys in here. Good time, Lady Drew. Appreciate you guys. Michael, B-Drive, Bernard, Holroyd, everybody out there. Have yourself a great one. We're back at it tomorrow, 8 o'clock right here on The Big Show. 7:30 Eastern time with Matt Roof. We'll see you guys tomorrow. See you guys. Ciao.